Welcome to the Meditation Nest, bedtime stories for adults. I'm Beth, your host and narrator. Here, stories become gentle meditations, designed to help your thoughts unwind as you slow the tempo of your life and embrace the night ahead. I invite you to slow your breath, soften your thoughts, and find peace as you drift into rest. This is your time to rest, reflect, and dream. Tonight, I have a story for you that begins the way so many evenings do, with the day softening, with the sky dimming into deeper colors, with the world slowly exhaling, as though it had been holding its breath all along. This is a story told from a smaller point of view, from the perspective of something gentle and luminous, something that wakes only when the light begins to fade. Tonight's tale is called Night of the Firefly. So allow your body to settle. Let your shoulders grow heavy. Let your breathing slow, as though you are matching the rhythm of dusk itself. And as we begin, imagine yourself entering the quiet world of night, where even the smallest light is enough. The sun had been sinking for a long while. Not suddenly, not with urgency, just slowly, as though the sky itself was taking its time. Warm gold faded into amber. Amber softened into rose. And then, little by little, the world began to cool. The air changed first. That subtle shift that only evening knows. A softness, a hush, a breath of something calmer. In the tall grass near the edge of a meadow, beneath a canopy of wide leaves and shadowed stems, something stirred. A small creature, no bigger than a thumbprint, stretched its delicate legs. Its wings, folded carefully along its back, trembled slightly as it woke. His name was Flicker, and the night was his morning. Flicker blinked once. A tiny glow pulsed from within him. Faint, golden green, like a spark remembering how to shine. He blinked again. The light returned. Not bright, not loud, just present, as though he were saying softly to the world, I am here. Above him, the last of the daylight slipped away behind distant hills. The meadow became a place of deepening blues and purples. The flowers closed their petals. The birds grew quiet. And the first stars began to appear, one by one, as though they were being lit gently across the ceiling of the sky. Flicker breathed in the cooling air. It smelled of damp earth, of clover, of the day settling into sleep. He lifted himself carefully onto a blade of grass and paused, the world felt enormous and peaceful. The kind of peace that arrives only when nothing is expected anymore. Only rest. Only night. When Flicker finally opened his wings, it was with slow reverence. They were thin as silk, almost invisible unless they caught the last trace of twilight. He took flight gently, rising just above the grass. His glow blinked softly as he moved, one pulse, then another, and each small illumination revealed the world in miniature. Dew clung to leaves like tiny beads of moonlight. A sleeping flower drooped peacefully, its petals curled inward like hands. The air itself seemed thicker at night, full of quiet things unseen during the day. Flicker drifted forward, unhurried. He didn't fly with purpose the way birds did. He floated, as though the night carried him. Around him, the meadow whispered. Crickets began their slow song in the distance. Not sharp, not loud, but rhythmic, like the steady ticking of a clock meant only for dreaming. Somewhere deeper in the grass, something rustled. A small mouse moving carefully. A beetle making its patient way across the soil. Flicker blinked again, and for a moment, the glow of his light brushed across a curled fern. It shimmered, then faded back into shadow. He liked that, the way the world didn't demand constant brightness, the way darkness wasn't frightening, only restful, only wide. Flicker passed near a pond where the surface reflected the sky. The moon had begun to rise, pale and steady. Its reflection trembled slightly with the movement of water. And Flicker hovered there, blinking slowly, as though greeting the moon like an old friend. Above the pond, a frog sat perfectly still, watching, listening. The night was full of creatures who understood quiet. Flicker continued onward. Each blink of his light was like a small lantern in the vastness, not meant to conquer the darkness, only meant to belong within it. As the night deepened, Flicker began to notice something familiar in the air, a kind of gentle presence, a rhythm beyond his own. Then he saw it, another light, a soft blink in the distance. Then another, then several more, fireflies, scattered across the meadow like drifting stars. Flicker slowed, hovering as though listening with his whole body. The lights pulsed in quiet patterns. One blink, a pause, another blink, a reply, It wasn't random. It was a language made of glow, a conversation without words. Flicker drifted closer, and as he did, the meadow began to shimmer. Fireflies rose from the grass like sparks lifting from a candle. Their lights blinked in gentle synchrony, weaving through the dark like a slow dance. It felt like music, a waltz of illumination. Flicker blinked back, one soft pulse, then another. And suddenly he was part of it, not separate, not alone. One small light among many. The meadow became a constellation. The air filled with quiet companionship. No one rushed, no one demanded. They simply blinked, together. Flicker felt something inside him ease. A sense that the night was not empty. It was full of small lives, full of gentle signals, full of belonging. The fireflies moved in slow arcs, drifting upward, then down again. Their glow rose and faded like breathing, in and out, in, out. And if you were watching from far away, it might have looked like the earth itself was dreaming in light. Flicker floated among them, blinking softly. He didn't need to speak. He didn't need to explain. He only needed to be. After a while, Flicker began to drift beyond the brightest part of the meadow, not because the dance had ended, only because the night was wide. And curiosity, gentle as it was, still lived inside him. He floated toward the edge of the field where the grass grew taller and the air felt cooler, shaded by silhouettes of trees. Here the world changed again. The meadow's open sky gave way to a softer canopy. Branches reached overhead like quiet arms. Leaves whispered faintly to one another, stirred by breezes too subtle to be felt, only heard. Flicker blinked, and in that small pulse of light, a new landscape appeared. Moss-covered rocks nestled in the earth like sleeping animals. A cluster of mushrooms stood beneath an oak, pale and still, as though they had been placed there carefully in the dark. The ground smelled richer here, damp soil, pine needles, the deep green scent of growing things resting. Flicker moved slowly, his glow illuminating only what was nearest. making the night feel intimate rather than endless. A delicate spiderweb stretched between two ferns, jeweled with dew. For a moment, Flicker's light caught it, and it shimmered like a constellation spun low to the ground. Then the glow faded, and the web disappeared back into shadow. The night was full of these quiet disappearances. Nothing demanded attention. Everything simply existed. Further ahead, Flicker heard the softest sound. Water, a narrow stream winding through the trees, its surface barely visible beneath the moonlight. The sound was not rushing. It was the kind of water that moved as though it had nowhere urgent to go. Flicker hovered above it, watching the way the current carried tiny reflections downstream. He blinked again, and the light revealed a smooth pebble beneath the surface, pale as bone. Then another. Then the slow movement of a small fish, gliding like a thought through sleep. Flicker felt something settle in him as he listened. The stream did not speak. It only flowed. And somehow that was enough. Above him an owl called once, low and distant. A soft reminder that the night held many guardians, many watchers, many gentle lives moving quietly in their own rhythms. Flicker drifted onward. He passed a sleeping fox curled beneath a thicket, its tail wrapped close like a blanket. He passed a deer standing perfectly still between trees, ears flicking toward sounds too faint for anyone else to notice. The deer didn't run. It only watched. Then, after a moment, lowered its head again, as though returning to the dream it had been having. Flicker understood then that the night wasn't empty at all. It was a world of rest, a world of soft awakenings and gentle pauses, a world where everything moved slowly, carefully, as if honoring the hush. His own light blinked again, quieter now, slower, like breathing. Like the meadow's waltz had become a lullaby, and Flicker began to feel the first suggestion of stillness calling him. Somewhere nearby, a broad leaf waited, a place to settle, a place to soften, a place to sleep. And so, with the night wrapping around him like velvet, Flicker turned toward rest. He wandered a bit more, looking for the perfect location that felt peaceful, a place meant for stillness. He passed beneath tall stems where leaves formed little shelters overhead. The air here was warmer, protected from the open meadow breeze. Flicker hovered near a broad leaf beaded with dew. It looked like a small bed made by nature itself. He landed carefully. The leaf dipped slightly beneath his weight, and he settled. Above him, the stars watched quietly. The moon hung steady, silver and calm. Flicker blinked once, a slow pulse. Then again, dimmer, softer, as though his light was folding inward, preparing, resting. And as Flicker grew still, this story's voice grows softer too, like a hand smoothing your thoughts, like a blanket settling over your mind. You don't have to hold anything tonight. You don't have to shine endlessly. Even the smallest light knows when to rest. Even Flicker, who carries glow inside him, understands that peace comes in the pause. That darkness is not absence. It's comfort. It is quiet. It's the world making space for sleep. So let your breathing slow. Let your body sink. Let your thoughts drift like fireflies across a wide summer meadow, blinking, then fading, then blinking again, then softening into stillness. Time passed in the way it does at night, thin, dreamlike, unmeasured. Flicker remained curled on his leaf, his wings folded gently, his light now only an occasional whisper. The meadow breathed around him. Crickets softened their song. The air cooled further, and then, very slowly, the sky began to change. Not bright, not sudden, just a faint easing. A hint of pale color at the horizon, deep blue turning into softer blue, soft blue turning toward lavender. The first suggestion of morning. Flicker's light dimmed completely, not because it was gone, only because it was resting. The world didn't need it now. The stars began to fade, one by one. The moon lowered, and the meadow held the quiet promise of renewal. Somewhere a bird stirred. Somewhere the earth turned. flicker slept. Safe, still, whole. And as the Firefly's day begins again, you are invited to remain in rest, to stay in the softness, to let sleep hold you for a while, because you too are allowed to dim. You are allowed to pause. You always are part of the rhythm. The end. Night of the Firefly reminds us that light is not always meant to blaze. Sometimes it only needs to blink softly, to exist, to offer presence, to belong. Even the smallest glow can be enough. Even the brightest light must rest between moments. Tonight, let yourself be like flicker. Let yourself drift. Let yourself soften. Let the world carry you. And trust that when morning comes, your light will still be there, quietly waiting. Good night. As this episode comes to a gentle close and the world outside grows quiet, may you find comfort within your own meditation nest. Let your mind settle softly. May tranquility wrap around you, inviting deep rest and serene dreams until dawn. If you'd like to help keep the meditation nest aglow, please consider buying me a cup of coffee by visiting ko-fi.com/BethPodcast. Every small kindness helps the light travel a little further. You can also access a free weekly blog on substack.com. Check the show notes for links. Until we meet again, rest in the quiet knowing that you are safely held by the night.